Hello YouTube, my name is RadiantXela and I'm here with another Star Wars Destiny deck profile video. This is for a budget deck built mostly around a starter deck and then paired with some pretty easy to get characters. So I've chosen to run Elite Rey with a Padawan and a regular Admiral Ackbar on the Echo base. The battlefield's claim ability is to give a character one shield. This is in here to grant more survivability to a deck that doesn't have a lot of health per character, but a lot of health in total. So Rey comes with 10 points of health, the Padawan comes with 7 and Ackbar with 9, leading up to a total of 26 whopping health in total, making this deck one of the tankier options in the game. So, the tactic is of course to overload Rey with upgrades taking more turns, and using the focus die from Ackbar to control how much damage you can deal to an opponent. Ackbar is also here to grant the ability of using red cards in the deck, and I will be displaying some of these in a moment, or all of these. The Padawan is there of course to make the simple weapons used in this deck more cheap to use, and because she is reliable in damage with a 1 melee, 1 melee, 2 melee, and a focus of course also as the primary reason for her being there. Combined with Rey's 1 melee plus 2 melee, the Padawan can go out and do some damage on her own, a bit more with Rey's assistance, and with a few of the equipment cards in this deck, a whole ton of damage per turn. Without further ado, the events. I'm running 2 take cover to grant the shields to the lower health characters. I am also using this as a devious ploy, because the one card you don't want to use is actually Ackbar Padawan, so I could give Rey the shield with take cover, since she is mostly there to control your early game advance, taunting your opponent into thinking that, hey, Rey is the one we want. He doesn't want to lose. Let's go for her. And then you're like, yeah, sure, you think that. Okay, so I'm running one hidden run, because there's only one red character and he only has 9 health. I don't really think that running 2 is potent. But it has ambush, meaning that you get to take another turn after you play it. And it says to activate one of your red characters. Basically, this gives you a free roll on Ackbar, hopefully landing on the focus. If it doesn't, we'll take it from there. I'm running 2 riposte, which says remove any number of shields from one of your characters, and deal damage to a character equal to the number of shields you just removed. So you use this to give some additional burn damage in addition to the melee damage that you will be swinging for each turn. Removing shields isn't a problem because you have so much shield generation with this deck. Maybe Qui-Gon would actually have been a better choice effect-wise for the Ackbar combo, but I feel like the Rey Padawan combo can go in and do more reliable damage without relying too much on the shield overloads. So 2 riposte for some extra damage. 2 heroism, again, you really want to control which of your characters are hurt when, so you can mitigate the damage onto each of the 3 characters and not lose one. Losing a character with this deck can mean defeat early on. So 2 heroism, which is a card featured in both starter decks, which lets you deal one of your unique characters damage equal to the value of an opponent's die showing damage, melee or ranged, and remove that die. So you get to take damage on Ackbar or Rey, preferably Rey because she comes with 10, but Ackbar can also take a bit of a punch. And then if you're lucky, you'll have removed the 1 damage that wasn't modified, and then you remove, they can use their modified dice later on. Another control card is Force Misdirection, which says choose a symbol shown on one of your blue dice and remove all of an opponent's dice showing that symbol. It is here to remove your opponent's resources. If you're that unlucky to roll resources, you can always go like, oh, okay, well, I've got a resource here, I can remove my opponent's. I can counter off Vader Raider using the melee dice I have and Force Misdirection together. I can remove shield dice with one with the Force and such on. So one of these simply to remove the things that could become a threat. A single field medic for the healing. My other 2 are in my other deck profile that you might have seen, the Han Leia deck. So I'm running 1 field medic to heal up any characters that are wounded, giving this deck an effective HP score of about 30 at most. So it's a pretty good card that simply just says heal a 2 damage from a character. The good thing here is that it doesn't require you to heal a unique character, meaning you'll probably want to heal your Padawan since she'll be one of your prime hitters later on. Now, a wombo combo card is the leadership. If you don't want to roll into a focus in a turn, you simply want a chance to roll doubles on Padawan and get to do more damage, this one is the way to go. Exhaust one of your unique red characters to ready another character. So you exhaust Ackbar, and then you get to swing once more with either Ray or the Padawan that will be having some upgrades on them to do a lot of damage. This is a really good card for comboing into, but let's face it, it doesn't work well during the early game. You want this once you have placed your upgrades on your characters. 1. Return of the Jedi, which simply says add a blue event from your discard pile to your hand. I have mostly used this to get back Anticipate and use the Force that you'll be seeing later on. It costs a resource, which is why it is at 1 in this deck, because you would rather prioritize your resources elsewhere for the later game. 1. Use the Force, spot a blue character to turn a die to any side. Can be used offensively to turn your Padawan into one of her 2 sides. If you want to be really nitpicky about it, you could turn Admiral Ackbar into his 2 focus, and then use that to turn Rey and Padawan into a 4 damage combo without upgrades. Of course, could be way more if you had the upgrades on them. Or you can use it defensively and go like, hey, do you know that Sith Holocron you have it special? Yeah, that's a blank now. Go to hell. So, this is another card I'm using. 2 defensive stance, it gives a character 2 shields. This is basically light field medic except for the fact that it applies shields, which makes it vulnerable to intimidation. But again, it raises your total health score, and shields can be so good. Use this with anticipation in a 2-card do 2 damage combo. Preferably, you won't want to, of course, to wait with what's it called, riposte, not anticipation, of course, riposte, to deal damage. You would want to wait until you get free shields, but sometimes you can't, and that's just fine. 1. Anticipate. This lets you force an opponent to choose and resolve any number of their dice in the order of their choice. Then remove all of their dice they did not resolve. Basically, this is a way to stop your opponent from re-rolling into or controlling into better die rolls, removing one of their turns from them. I've been misplaying this card, unfortunately, so just for the heck of it, I'll do a rules clarification here. Your opponent can modify the dice that they are going to resolve. I thought they couldn't, because the general rule is that a modifier cannot be applied during an effect roll. But since this, during the effect of a card, of course, since this allows for multiple resolutions of a character die, you can actually modify, your opponent can modify the dice that you're going to be jolting with this anticipate card, meaning that you shouldn't actually use it when they have a lot of damage on the board. You should probably remove the damage dice and maybe then use anticipate to force them. Also, it's a 2 cost, so the timing of this card is alpha and omega for this deck. It can save your ass or cost you the game, up to whether or not you play it right. And I can't even provide you with a guide because it's a feel card, meaning that you have to get a feel for when you actually use it. And that's the thing about it. It can save you, it can lose you the game. 1, the Force is strong. It's a support that stays on the field, so we've gone into the supports now. As an action, you can exhaust the support and discard a blue card from your hand to play another copy of that card from your hand for free. So basically, discard defensive stance, play that for free. Discard one of your blue upgrades, play another one for free, that sort of thing. This card grows better the more cards are added to this budget version of the deck. Meaning that this deck that I'm showing you, as I said, is budgeted towards being sort of easy to assemble without having to spend a lot of money on the game. This card only grows better as you add more lightsabers, more Luke's lightsabers to this deck. You get to pull out all of the big guns and play them for free. You could also replace Echo Base with Starship Graveyard, then reclaim the one you discarded at the end of the round. So many good combos this card can get you into if you know how to time it right. Play a unique card for free, that's so good, like the next support on the line, Jedi Council. It costs 2, and as an action you can exhaust it, so look at the top 2 cards of a player's deck, yours or your opponent's. Then you may discard one of those cards and have that player draw the other. This is so good. One thing it can do, of course, is to deny your opponent good cards. If they've used Starship Graveyard, then you use Jedi Council to remove the card that they wanted to reclaim, or another card they would have drawn that could have been equally dangerous. Or you can use it on yourself if you have nothing good in your hand, you really need to get an edge right now. hit yourself with it, get to see what you would have gotten, and the worst thing that can happen is that you'll be better off next round. So, really good card for controlling draws, I think. It Binds All Things is a support that exhausts when you play a blue upgrade to reduce the cost of that blue upgrade by 1, meaning that the lightsaber, which is the sort of default blue upgrade, I guess, gets reduced to a 2-cost support. Played on Padawan means it gets to play a 1-cost support. That is really, 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 really good. Or 1-cost weapon equipment, of course, the lightsaber will become, and we'll get to that. So basically it makes everything cheaper and you get to do more stuff in a turn. That's great. I'm running 2 Awakening, which is a support that can be exhausted to resolve one of your dice showing a modified side, which means a plus in front of any other symbol, as if it was not modified. There are no clear intentions behind this card, except for the fact that it can make rAy hit for 2 instead of 1, or none, if you've misrolled your dice. So it's a pretty good card there. There are also a few other options for modifying, but it's basically just a card that says, you thought I couldn't do anything? Well, now I can. Suck it. 1 BB-8 is a good stable to me. It has a reroll die, a disrupt die, a shield die, a resource die, and a special. Special reading, reroll this die and one of your other dice. Do not remove this die from your pool after resolving this ability. Meaning that you could actually, if you're very lucky, you could roll into the special several times and get to reroll multiple of your dice, possibly setting you up for a focus on BB-8 or rAckbar, getting you into controlling your dice on the Padawan, on the rAy, letting you do more damage to your opponent than you would before you put this into play. It's a shot because it's a luck card. You have to get the reroll or the focus die. The resource is of course also always good, but that's what you want. And you can't always get it, but when you do, it could change the game for you. Right, going into the upgrades now, I'm running 1 rAy Staff. It's a melee weapon that comes with the starter deck, and it's pretty damn good, because it has 2 1 melee sides, matching that of the Padawan, and a 3-for-1 melee side. Now, as this deck isn't that expensive to play in resources, you'll often have the resource you need to strike the free damage here. And with the focus from Ackbar and BB-8 and some of the other upgrades that are coming, you will often land those free damage and just do like, hey, I have the +2 on rAy, I have another 2 on the Padawan, that's, wow, I just rolled 3 dice and I did 7 damage with a budget deck in one turn. That's actually pretty good. Also, it's special. It says remove a die showing damage, so it can also control that you do not get burned from 1 potent die and a lot of modifiers this turn, which is grand. So 1 lightsaber, because the starter deck only comes with 1. If you've bought 2 starter decks, switch one of these in for basically almost any other card. But this is based around the fact that you might have gotten the hero starter deck. So this is a lightsaber. It costs 3. It has redeploy, meaning that when the character is defeated, move this card. This is really good in free character decks, because when you get this, you might see, oh, he's focused to Padawan. Okay, put this on the Padawan, not only because it's cheap, but because when she dies, you get it on rAy. And then he focuses rAy, then you put it on Ackbar, and then Ackbar runs around with a lightsaber, cleaning up after the Padawan and rAy has done tons of damage. And that's only if the game is drawn that far. So, it has a free damage for one side, a +2 melee side, a shield, a resource, a special, and of course I don't mention blanks, but of course if I don't mention a 6th option, or Civ, yeah, it's because it's blank. The special is deal 2 unblockable damage to a character. Again, a very good side to go for, and again it has the 3-for-1, and with a not so resource potent deck, that is pretty good. So you can actually get to strike with this weapon if you have the It Binds All Things Padawan option when you play it. Getting to roll, yeah, if you have both of these on, you have at least 8 damage on your Padawan alone. With the support from rAy, you get, yeah, what is it, 10, maybe 12 if you're lucky. That's enough to remove almost any character in the game. This is a budget deck. These cards are 1 booster rare Padawan that isn't worth quite that much money, and the lightsaber and a rAy Staff, which comes from the starter deck. That's pretty good for you. So, of course, since we're starter deckers, we couldn't help but not to include the force row. It has a 1 ranged, 1 disrupt, 2 specials, and a blank. Blue character only, meaning you must play it on the Padawan or on rAy. Spoilers, you want to hit rAy with this. You don't want to get the resources, you don't want to get the disrupts, you want the special that says remove a die to deal character damage equal to the value showing on that die. So, first of all, if you don't have any resources, use it on Ray Staff or Lightsaber when they show free and go boom in your face, I still hit you. Or if your opponent has a die that is good, you could just remove that using this one. I mean, if I see a holocron on this roll, on a special, I will remove the special on the holocron even if it deals 0 damage, simply because that free mind probe is not going anywhere. So that makes this card incredibly good. This deck is running a comlink. It is also a rare that not many people want, meaning that it should be easy to get your hang of. When you play it, you may reroll any number of your dice or any number of an opponent's dice, so you can't reroll both yours and your opponent's, but you can reroll any number, meaning you get to control but you reroll. It's not the best card in the game, and it's a tester. But it has 2 focus sides and a resource and a +1 resource, which is what you want to aim for with this deck, getting that focus die, so you can make sure that the Padawan and the Rey attacks together to win you the game. So yeah, that's probably why I'm using it. The reroll option I haven't actually used yet, so I won't know how good it is. I've played like 5 or 6 games with this deck alone, maybe even 10, and actually, I haven't gotten to reroll yet. It's just meh. I want the focus so bad I play it before I get to reroll. So yeah, running 2 Jedi ropes. This will require either a lucky draw or getting 2 starter decks. But it is so very good with its 2 focus die and an ability that said after you play this upgrade, give a attached character 1 shield or 2 shields instead if it is the first round of the game. Of course, you want to mulligan into this card. I really can't stress that enough, because you want to get those 2 shields on Rey during turn 1, feign her as the tank of the deck, have your opponents hopefully focus her, or you can later on use it to shield up the Padawan, gain the focus, and again attack. This is a pretty simple focus into attack deck, as you might have guessed by now. So, 1 force trading. I think this is a pretty common rare I've gotten free from not that many boosters yet. It has a ranged, a +2 melee, a focus, a resource, and a special. And the special is what we're going for. You need to have a blue character in play, so if Ackbar is all you've got left, use this as a discard bait. But choose and do 2 of the following: deal 1 damage to a character, or gain 1 resource, or give a character 1 shield. So since you can do 2, I usually go for 1 damage and 1 resource. Doing a bit of burning, hopefully having force throw on the field as well, so that you can resolve both specials. Doing maybe 3, maybe 4 damage just with your specials. Since it's budget, it's very good. And the +2 melee are of course also worth noting, as you can focus from your other cards into them and do even more damage with the Rey Padawan combo. So 1 scout. It is a red upgrade, pretty again easy to get, and it has a focus side. That's probably why we're playing this. It's a scout, and it grants you focus and resource. And it's a 1 cost upgrade, is what I actually meant to say, of course. The special says, look at an opponent's hand and discard the cheapest card from it, meaning that you can control away cards such as Intimidation against dark side decks that you really don't want them to use against you. Or He Doesn't Like You and Unpredictable, Scramble, all of them cards. Go the heck away, let's do this. If you're very lucky, you might even get to hit 1 cost cards with this and use that to save your skin. If he has 1 card left in hand, you could even hit I don't know, like Millennium Falcon or something that you really don't want to get in your face with this deck. So the best card I think you can hit with this at the standard, which means you hit something that costs 0, would be the Sith Holocron. That should make your opponent weep in its bed. So I use 1 scout in basically every red deck simply because of the chance that the special could cost them something like that. Last card of the deck is the only epic card, rare card of course, in it. Legendary, 1 with the Force. It's a 4 cost, meaning that it is the 1 card you want to save up for, you want to get this. Sides is 3 ranged, 2 focus, 3 focus, 3 disrupt, 2 armor, or 2 resources. First good thing, no blanks. Second good thing, 2 sides that can focus. Third good thing, multiple focuses per side. Bad thing, blue character only, meaning, oh god, I wanted to do this. Just put it on Ackbar and sit away focusing. Can't be done, but it's still okay. It has the effect that before attached character is defeated, it becomes a support for the rest of the game, meaning that you should never lose this upgrade. Once you've played it, you'll simply get to keep rolling those focus die, and with the free focus you can set up for your 8 damage combo every turn. So potent if you can manage to land those focus dice. The thing about dice games, of course, is that half of these deck things, half of our strategies, like mine here, I want the focus to go into melee damage, requires that I'm a lucky bastard, because I must roll the focus die, otherwise I'll just be sitting, I won't hit. So that's not very good. But it is one of the things that I find very charming about Star Wars Destiny. So yeah, that was my Elite Rey, regular Padawan, regular Ackbar deck. Hopefully you enjoyed this. It's a good way to start off playing the game with just one legendary and a lot of sort of easy to get upgrades and cards. Hopefully you enjoyed. Follow me on Twitter, and I will see you guys next time.